this is the specific kind of racism, like here's an example or something.
Just being black in America.
But that's not a specific example. Like what specifically against blacks in America is being done that's racist or something?
Just blacks in America. I'm not a good interview person.
I'm not really good with this interview stuff.
So I picked out a special one for y'all today.
Thank you so much.
You guys know how we here at SP, we're trying to end racism.
That's what I've been trying to do, bro. This might be the day.
I've been wanting to try to end it for so long because you hate to see it. Let's watch this clip of a woman talking about some of the racism that she's experienced.
No shit. Let's hear her story.
The goal today, like what are we trying to achieve?
Just letting everybody see that it's just not about one group, it's not about one individual, it's about all of us. We all got to get together at some point and do something different with what's going on in the world.
And what's going on in the world?
Way too much. All negative, nothing positive at this point.
Like what specifically?
What specifically? Wow, the racism, the sexism, all.
But who's being like who's being racist in what way? Like what's
being racist?
And like sexist and all that?
The government, the city, the county.
How so?
Name it. Look at all that's going on. The taxes,
taxes are racist.
Taxes. I mean, just everything that's going on.
Taxes suck. I don't know if they're racist though.
No, not necessarily racist. I'm just talking about just the things that are going on in the world. People got to have a voice, come out and start standing up for what's wrong. There's too much going wrong, and there's not enough people being involved with it.
Sure, but as far as like the racism, for example, like what specifically has been racist that you found, or like any people who are like who are we going up against today?
Who are we up against? We're up against the world. That's all I can say.
Just everything that's going on, you know?
But like in what way though? Like what specific way? We got it, because here's the thing, if we just say racism out, like, you know, it's just something out in the air, like it's not something concrete that we can really like target, like people are not going to take us seriously. So how can we say this is the specific kind of racism, like here's an example or something?
Just being black in America.
But that's not a specific example. Like what specifically against blacks in America is being done that's racist or something?
Just blacks in America. I'm not a good interview person.
I'm not really good with this interview stuff.
Sometimes I'll find myself getting on these rabbit holes of like people going to these protests and parades and what have you. And
just to go.
The people that are there interviewing them, the people that are in the parades don't know what they're doing. So what's going on today? I don't know.
What's going on? Everything's kind of happening.
Well, black in America.
The world. The taxes. Fuck you mean?
This clip is, I think, representative of what's happening across the internet, Instagram, YouTube. People don't even know what they're complaining about anymore. And sure, you might be able to single out a certain racist event, which you couldn't even do. There's a lot of these people out there, millions.
Just mindlessly, just getting their participation token. Yeah. I'm upset with y'all. What are we upset about?
Yeah. We need to stand up against them. What were we saying? Wait, what's that? What's that?
What's the movement here?
They're taking away our rights. Yeah, they're taking away our rights. It's exhausting.
Yeah, and she's just giving it a bad look, because you know there's people actually out there. If he would interview the right person, could really give you a better explanation. Yeah. And you also don't have to participate in the interview if you don't know. Like, that's another problem. He didn't just start the clip recording. He probably was like, "Hey man, you're here because of so and so." Of course I am. Would you like to answer some questions so I can know what's going on? She shouldn't have even agreed.
We could make an hour-long video and not even name all the bad things that are happening and things in place. I've said this time and time again. Do you think you can end racism by being in a march at Safeway? Let's say this is a racism march, okay?
It's to raise awareness.
Because like if you're a real racist and you walk by and see all the people in the Safeway parking lot saying stop being racist, are you gonna stop being racist?
I thought about that. Yeah. Are the racists looking at the signs and be like, you know what? I have a change of heart.
They're outside Safeway.
I should probably stop.
I should really stop with what I'm doing. They'll make statements that are like preaching to the choir. So I don't know if it was last year, there was a Stop Asian Hate thing going across because there was hate crimes against Asian people, and then everyone was posting stop Asian hate.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah, you might gas the Asian haters on.
I'm like,
don't tell me what to do.
If I put on my story, stop Asian hate, if a true Asian hater saw that, damn, Rhino said to stop it. I probably should give it up.
I was about to sucker punch one tonight too. Probably wouldn't be right to do.
Damn, I had a change of heart after that. Again, I've said this 20 times. People are trying to solve these macro issues, which are not a one-size-fits-all. Just say don't hate Asians and it will stop it. Just say don't be racist and racism will be finished. It's not that simple. If everyone, by yourself, not be racist, or just not attack people, whatever. And then if everyone did that, then you'd be, I think, better off. Just focus on the 50 miles around you that you can control, instead of trying to save the world every weekend for a new cause. Because then it's the turtles, and then it's the Asian hate, and then it's the racism, and then it's the gentrifying, and then it's the gerrymandering, and then it's the turtles, and then it's elephants. Or now it's COVID. Now
is even posting about it just kind of like not pointless, but why post about it? What if somebody didn't even know what racism was, and they're like saw somebody post about it, looked it up? I kind of want to be a racist, right? Because if a racist chose to be a racist at a certain point, or I guess you can, you don't have to be raised to be a racist, right? Like you can become a racist. You bring up instances.
You bring up an interesting point. I've seen this many times where, let's say it's part of the Black Lives Matter movement or like a racism protest. They'll be like, yeah, fuck white people. Or they're like, oh, if you're white, then get out of here. Or they be doing that type of shit. If you're white and a male, you can't have an opinion. And I'm like, that almost seems a bit racist.
That might make them turn against what you're going for.
It's like you're at an anti-racism protest and you're all about let's stop the hatred of black people and Asian people, and yet you're actively being mean to white people. You're probably creating more racists. But then anytime anything gets caught on the phone, whatever, there's a bad incident or something happened, like okay, there's one hate crime that happens. People see it all across their phone, and then everyone thinks there's a hate crime epidemic sweeping across this nation. And they are knocking out Asian people left and right. When really, that was an isolated incident.
Yeah, at that one spot in that one town.
That isn't representative of how the whole nation is. That incident should be handled accordingly with law enforcement and send that motherfucker to the slammer. Yep. Tell that one dude to fix his bullshit, whatever. So lock him up.
At the end of the day, what else can we do? It's like, yeah, we have to do the protests and we have to do the posts on Instagram because, yeah, how are you going to stop it? What are you going to do? And I think as we feel like we have to do something, people feel like they have to do something. So
you're like, well, I'm not going to go march, but I'll repost it because I think it helps.
My favorite thing, what does posting an infographic about save the whales, stop this, don't be racist, climate change, this, does that really do anything? Because we've been posting infographics for the better part of 4 years now. Not we, but the internet. Have the infographics done anything?
I guess it's the same thing as like the radio when you turn it on. They're like, 3 cyclists were killed this week on whatever road. So now like just scare more. I don't know. Like I don't, because like the news will just share, you know, the bad things, only the bad things.
Correct.
And then we're just sharing the bad things. Like
some people would say the world isn't more violent or crazy than in the past. It's just being televised more.
Yeah, it's being broadcast.
It's being broadcast.
Yeah. And now that we're getting spread with so much, we're thinking every single one of them is just as heavy as the next. There's too much mix.
It all gets jumbled, and no, you have to.
It's all jam-packed together in front of your face.
So I think this would be indicative of what we were just talking about. The mainstream media news cycle. Here we go.
COVID is the greatest threat to America right now. If you don't stay inside, you're a terrible person. The greatest threat to America right now is clearly racism. Racism is the greatest threat to America. You better support Black Lives Matter. You better get out in the street and scream it, say it, whatever you got to do. But the greatest threat to America right now is all of this Asian hate. Stop hating Asians. Why is everyone hating Asians? Stop Asian hate. The greatest threat to America right now is all of this hatred towards vaccines. Get vaccinated. You need to get vaccinated. If you don't get vaccinated, what is wrong with you? The unvaccinated are ruining this country. The greatest threat to America right now is the misinformation. Misinformation. We have to stop misinformation. It's the greatest threat to America right now. If you're spreading it, you're a terrible person. Stop the misinformation. The greatest threat to America right now is clearly Russia. We have to support the Ukraine. If you don't support the Ukraine, what's wrong with you? What are you, some kind of terrible person? You have to support the Ukraine. The greatest threat to America right now is clearly guns. We have to stop with the guns. Get rid of your guns. Gun control now. We need it.
Is that not facts?
It's everything summed up into one.
What happened to COVID after a while? It was still affecting people, but the news wasn't talking about it.
And there's apparently more variations coming.
Do you think that it's all a big like there's other things at play?
Like a government distraction, or we're looking over here and they're doing something over there.
And while all the sheep are on their phones worrying about Asian hate and this and that, and black racism.
Do you think it helps because their social media? It's like lit. If us, the highest people in the fucking world that control the media, just say this today, we can get them all to worry about.
Oh yeah,
it's like the easiest time to hypnotize.
We're being hypnotized right now and controlled right now with our phones and social media.
Yes, and we're talking about these things because that's all stuff that we're being fed.
Yes, all it would take a viral clip of a white police officer unjustly hurting a black person, and they're rioting across the nation for the next week. The whole nation getting burned down, whatever. and then
in a moment,
and then COVID, vaccines. Right? For every month, literally, and for every few months, there to be a new thing,
and it's felt like that too. It's like, what now?
Yep, and we're all waiting for it. There's a movie, Don't Look Up.
Oh, that was a really good movie.
Yeah, and then they had an actual guy from the UK talking about the actual heat wave, saying how hot it's gonna get, and it's actually people are gonna die soon.
What do you believe?
Yeah, and then what do you believe? Yeah,
I said, well, fuck, I don't know.
I'm just a YouTuber.
And then you see a video on TikTok of a UFO sighting, and it's like, it looks legit. And I'm like, somebody explain this.
Russia.
We're gonna pass over that clip.
B4, the new variant.
This should just be
monkeypox. Fuck.
I think humans across the board in the US worry about the wrong things completely.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what?
Matrix. Stuck in the Matrix.
That's it. You know what I saw? I was talking to my doctor recently.
Okay.
I had a little checkup.
Everything's good?
I'm good. I was asking about, there's a new variants of COVID and all this stuff. And he's saying, yeah, it doesn't seem to really be affecting people as much as, you know, the earlier ones did. Like, hospitalizations aren't, and ICU is going down, whatever. He said the best thing you can do for yourself is to eat healthy and exercise frequently, because that cuts down on inflammation in your body. And the people that have the most complications from COVID are overweight, have inflammation in their body, have poor diets, sleep, whatever, they don't sleep. Just treat your body properly.
Take care of yourself.
Put the right things in it. And I remember I was walking on the sidewalk here, and I saw this couple, very large couple, and they had 2 N95 masks on, and they were holding like 8 pizzas. Now, I'm no doctor, but I'm sensing that y'all might be worried about the virus and you don't want to get it. So why the fuck are y'all eating these pizzas, which are gonna inevitably lead to you potentially having complications if you got sick?
They're not exposed to even that concept. They see on the TV, oh, wear masks. Okay. Wear masks, I'm still gonna eat my pizza.
And they're banning Skittles. They said Skittles are
heard about
unfit for human consumption, and they're banned across the world except for the US. I was cracking a Skittle pack a day, every day in high school.
I thought it was Taste the Rainbow.
What's the rainbow?
Riboflavin, this chemical, this thing. So, where do we go from here?
Everything's fucked.
I think once people realize that they are getting programmed and stop following the crowd almost. Like, if this is the new thing, if posting a black square is a thing, question for 2 seconds.
Yep.
Is this really a problem nationwide? What are the potentials to fix this? Like, is this something I should even care about?
Because it's almost ignorant when you post the black thing and then your next post is you having mimosas and that. You know what I mean? Like,
how many infographics did you see on like everything in the past 2 months, whatever? Infographic after infographic. Just stand up for this and do that. And if you're a bad person, if you do this, I could never do that. These people should be held accountable. And now everyone's back to selfies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro, I just say focus on the miles around you, the 10 miles around you, and just do that.
Yeah, focus on you and what's around you, and then go from there.
Start with yourself,
and
then look around others.
Trying to save the world, out in the parking lot of Safeway, trying to change the world.
If everyone spent more time trying to save themselves and work on themselves, I think it'll be much better. Maybe less racism, maybe less.
Yes. And again, we're trying to stop racism, right? Don't we want to live in a world with no racism, with no hate crimes? I'm gonna say that's impossible.
Are we ever gonna live in a world where there's no racism? No.
There will be a line where somebody will just keep that legacy going.
I'll let the racists.
You're not gonna dedicate your
I just won't be racist
every day,
and I'll just let them be racist.
You have to be actively anti-racist. It's not enough just for you to not be racist. You must be anti-racist, and you must do an infographic every day.
I'm not even gonna say what I am.
Yeah, and no racist is even looking at that.
Yeah.
Taken into consideration anyways. So then it's like, who are you even helping when you're preaching to the choir?
Yes, exactly. It's pointless. You think you're a modern day hero.
You feel good for the day. Like, I got my post in.
I saved the fucking things. The Asians need me. I gotta do this infographic.
I have some Asian friends. I don't know.
And I know that I'm not Asian, but Rob, I want to stand with you. All I'm saying is, and Rob just said it here, it's as if everyone's trying to have us live in this utopian society where there's no racism, there's no thefts, there's no crime, there's no violence. That's not possible. I'll be the first to admit it. It's not
the problems are they're too large at scale. Some of them are thousands of years old. Like,
you can't stop every hate crime. You can't stop every act of racism.
Yeah, what do you do? Dedicate your life to every day worrying about that, and then you don't even worry about yourself, and then you're dead, and then you go, oh, shit.
Would the best thing be to get up in a higher position where you do have more power and say, if that's really what you want to do?
Or do you want to be looked at as somebody like that stood up for something? Do you really want to be that person? I don't know. There are some people out there that really stand for it, but I don't think a lot of people do.
Why should you be worrying about your neighbor's lawn when your lawn is a mess. Well, his shingles on his roof are messed up. Bro, cut your own grass, bro.
Exactly.
Bro, just focus on yourself.
That's what I said.
You can never go wrong if you focus on your own life.
And being aware of what's going on around, you know, in society.
Yeah. Like in your range and your mile radius, take care of that.
Yeah, if you really want to
make your impact there, and you just hope that spreads.
And I think, yeah, that's true though. The smaller, and it might get bigger, and it might create a trend. Who knows?
Or you just berate people on social media and yell at them.
Or that.
Yeah, or that.